Yes, guys, welcome back to the Final Whistle, TFW Football, your favourite home of sports, your favourite podcast. Make sure you subscribe, leave a like and comment as we go along. But guys, Chelsea have bought another player. As in just now. Just now, 25 mil.
What do you mean?
Who? Does it matter? It actually doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I could be lying, I could be telling the truth, but Chelsea's spending habits need to be discussed. So obviously, we have a very special guest today. Please introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Melina. As you can tell, I'm from the States. I am a Chelsea fan, unfortunately, but it's all right. It's all right.
So let's just talk through, obviously, João Felix. You loaned him in, 2 years ago, was it?
Year and a half-ish, yeah.
And you paid about 20 mil to loan him in. Loan didn't go too well, did it?
Red cards.
Yeah.
On his debut, isn't it?
What did I tell you on the way over here? That's the one thing we don't talk about. We're not talking about that one.
So, no, I just wanted to set precedent for that one because you had him before, didn't really turn out, you guys have got him again. But obviously, Pedro Neto for around, 60 mil or something ridiculous. As a Chelsea fan,
This is not fair.
Yeah,
You're going on it on a negative stance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see how she
do
feels
that.
about it.
Don't do
Yeah.
that.
no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. Like, how do you feel about all of these transfers and Todd?
If you want me to be completely honest, I stopped caring. Can I swear?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to.
I stopped giving a fuck about transfers a very long time ago. There was not one single transfer before Pedro Neto where I saw here we go and I was like, oh, nice, like transfer dopamine receptors, dead,
Gone.
fried,
Yeah.
like at all. And it's so funny because the day before we signed Neto, I was like, I don't care. Like, I don't care. And then that happened and I was like, oh, thank you, Todd. Thank you. But it's like, I think people view the transfer stuff incorrectly because I think last summer was for the first team because we cleared everybody out. And then we brought in all these players and everyone always focuses, oh, you spent this much, net spend. We got rid of like 20 players and it's not just like fringe players who you could loan out. It was our whole Champions League winning squad, essentially.
They're still living off that, you know. They're still living off that Champions League.
Oh, and we can talk about it because I think we would actually agree on a lot regarding that. But yeah, I think that summer was for the first team. This summer, there have been a lot of transfers. These transfers are more for what I think is going to happen in the future. So there's two paths: loan, develop, flip for profit. Because this is not a team that's owned by a guy with like literally barrels of money. It is limited funds, but you have to be a little bit more wise. You need to generate revenue. We don't have the biggest stadium, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. So I think that's part of it. The second part of it is loan, develop, bring into the first team because everyone jokes about it, but there are transfer bans coming, like 100%.
They're being filed now.
This is where people will get confused though. They think it's Todd signings or Clear Lake era signings. It is all from Roman. And I think I think Clear Lake knew that when they bought the club, when they were doing their audits and all of that good faith stuff. I think when they reported it, I think they knew like stuff is going to go down. Like it's not going to be good. So I think that's why partially we've been giving these guys like 8, 9, 10-year deals. I don't think that's the only reason. I think it's, again, revenue, amortization, all of that. I think that's a part of it as well. But transfer bans are coming. We will not be able to buy players.
What I'm hearing and what I'm sensing is, small club vibes, which is fine.
No.
Which is fine. That's what I'm getting a little bit. I think also, another thing is, as Arsenal and United fans, I can see Arsenal's clear plan. And I think a lot of people with the new signings, new board, Ineos involved, you can see the Man United's plan. But how do you see that Chelsea plan? Because no one sees it.
Do you really not?
Not really.
I
no.
do. I think. First of all, Arteta's first full season. Where was everyone November 2020 to Boxing Day 2020 when they hadn't won a game? I know. I'm not even trying to be funny.
I mean, to be fair, we drew our first game.
No, but that's winless. And from November 1st to Boxing Day 2020, you hadn't won a game.
We were in the mud.
Exactly. Nobody saw the plan then.
The stadium was empty, bro.
Nobody saw the plan then. You'd never see the plan when it's not go.
Oh, he was saying Arteta out.
People were saying no.
He was saying
Yeah,
Arteta
yeah, yeah.
out.
So you said his first full season when we lose. Oh
Yeah.
okay. I've talked about the season before. Go on.
Nobody saw the plan then, but it's also like what has happened at Chelsea. People don't realize, or they refuse to realize. What has happened is completely unprecedented. Like, this is not an ownership change like the Newcastle one, where it was agreed upon, the fans wanted it, everyone was very much on board. There was a strategy for like 3 years on how to get this club. This club was stripped, sold, and ownership transferred within 3 months. That's not normal. Like, that's not okay.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, but then just because that changed, it doesn't mean that there needs to be so much instability all over the club. Like, the players have been changing over the last few years. The management, how many managers are you going to go through? So all this chopping and changing from the top of the club to the bottom is what makes it all so confusing for me.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree. I said, like, I think last year, if there's one problem at this, there's not just one, but if you were to like umbrella it, it is, I think Clear Lake took on way too much in one bite, or whatever the saying is. Like, and I think that was always the plan for them. I think they wanted to do like a 6-year rebuild in like 2, when it's like not that, I don't know. The realisticness of it and like the idea of it might not align.
I'm getting the idea that you're not too upset with what's happened at your club. You're kind of okay.
But you said
with
you don't care about the window anymore.
I don't care about the window, but like I'm also realistic enough to know what has happened is like it's unprecedented. It is catastrophic. Like it's gonna take time. I'm a little bit more patient, and I always said the tweets are there, the receipts are there. This is going to get worse before it gets better. Like
we said that. We've said
exactly.
that.
No,
We said it,
exactly.
Raph.
To
We
break,
said-
we know.
to make something better, you have to break it down
Yeah,
and then build it
100%.
back up. And whether the like it being good again will ever happen, I think it will. I just think people need to be a little bit more patient. And if I'm telling people to be patient and that people are being over dramatic, you need to get a grip because everything is a performance with me. So like, just please,
I mean,
everyone relax.
when you do look at like Chelsea's like successful errors, they've never been a point where they've had a manager for a long period of time.
No.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's always been a Chelsea like rule book or something to when the manager's not winning to switch it and move on. However, the issue at the moment is that it's not just the managers, it's also the players, it's also the whole club. So you saying that, yeah, it needs to be broken down. How much of it actually needs to be broken down? Because the club in total is just a mess. And the amount of players that you guys are buying at the moment, we was talking off air how are these young players going to develop if there's players that are going to play over them almost all the time? Yes, you may be able to make a profit, but is it going to be the profit where you actually want it to be? Because clubs are going to be looking and be like, these players haven't played, so why am I going to be paying a premium price on it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And Joe makes it even worse. Like, I think I said it last time we were here when we were talking about just like a recap of last season. If I'm a player, if I'm 19 or 20 and, you know, there's clubs after me and I'm on an upward trajectory, why would I go to Chelsea? And the reason I say why would I go to Chelsea, I'm not even trying to say like Chelsea are a small club or this or whatever.
I am.
I mean, we can maybe allude to that.
They've won a couple Champions Leagues.
Yeah,
There's a club here that hasn't won.
Respect.
one, so-
Respect.
True.
It's a club with history. They've won trophies. We know that. But in recent times, we've seen them not finish the greatest in the league. Which, okay, cool. That's probably like a minor issue when you're thinking about, you know, coming to a big club like that. But they signed countless amount of young players as well in all sorts of different positions. So why would I then go and join on like a 7-8 year contract?
I asked myself that too. I asked myself that very question. Like, what is being said to them where they're signing these?
Yeah.
These are not like 2-year deals. These are Enzo is leaving this club in the next decade.
Yeah.
Cole Palmer signed an extension. He's leaving in 2033.
No, but it's
Yeah.
easy money for the younger players.
Definitely.
I think from the players' point of view, I actually understand it. Someone like Cole Palmer now, if the club want to get rid of him for some reason in the next few years, they need to pay him a large chunk of his contract that's left. So from the players' point of view, I think it makes sense. And I think from the ownership point of view, I think it's quite reckless, but
It's
I
just a
also
lot.
understand
It's
it
just a
in a
lot.
way because you're saying to these players, well, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You're stuck here. And if you want to go, other teams are going to have to pay more because of how long the
And
contract.
that's what I was saying about the
True.
transfer ban stuff. Like, these players need to play here and develop so that in 2 or 3 years when we have and when I say transfer ban, I do not mean 1 or 2 cutesy ones that we used to have when we were under Frank.
5 years.
I mean, like, no, you say it as a joke. I'm being dead ass. It might be
Yeah.
4 or 5 transfer bans.
Wow, you think so?
I promise. Like, I wouldn't say that just like, oh, as a joke, but
I will love it.
I genuinely
I will
think
love it.
that's what's going to happen. But then there's so you can't buy players, but you can sell players, and then you can reintegrate those loanees into
Back to your
the
squad.
you see what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think it's a very long-term thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not like in the know with it all, like at all. This is just like my own musings and what I've made sense of it. And I sit on the fence with Clearly because not everything can be bad that they do and not everything can be good. Like, I'm very in the middle. The thing I don't like is how academy players are being treated. There's a way to get players to leave. This is not the way.
Yeah.
But to touch on, I think, what the two of you were saying, the reason the squad had to be dismantled the way it was is because that squad wasn't good enough. Like, that squad won a Champions League. I saw through the cracks. I remember, I'm very honest. I'm brutally honest. And with this squad, I have had minimal critiques because I think there's a lot to cheer for there. The Champions League winning squad, I ripped them to shreds. Like, week in, week out, because they deserved it, because they were grown-ass men playing for a team. You know who you're playing for. You know who the owner is. You know how this works.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. And that's why they were sold. Like,
Yeah.
you have
Yeah, but
Mason
at
Mount,
that
and I
period-
get that.
But at that period of time, you had, in my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, you had a mixture of experienced players and also academy players. Now you've gotten rid of some of your academy players, the likes of Mount and others who maybe
Yeah.
should have stayed at the club. And then you're also putting to the side, Reece James is always injured, but putting Ben Chilwell to the side, Raheem Sterling to the side.
I don't
Thiago
agree with
Silva,
that.
These are experienced
Even
players.
Jorginho, bro.
Yeah, exactly. So doesn't it worry you that the squad that you're going into the new season and into the future with lacks that balance of having the experience
100%.
as well as, young raw talent?
100%. I think that's like a top 3 gripe I have with Clearly. This weird like 90-10 split between young and experienced when it should not be that way at all. But then that goes to the thing of like, this is not a team for today. This is not a team for this season. This is a team for 2-3 years.
Yeah,
And
fair
and
enough.
even like last season, I was saying, I think people view this team incorrectly. We will know in 2 or 3 seasons who is cut out for this team and who isn't. But right now, I'll tell you, Malagusto, when Reece James either retires or leaves or whatever, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you're good enough. Mudryk, babe, please. It's like, just please go. You know what I mean? Like, we're seeing now who's kind of good enough, who isn't.
So then what's the because you said, okay, it could be in a 2-3 years you can see whether or not the players are good enough and what. So in terms of this season and now, what are your aspirations? What are you looking for to see, okay, there's something that I can buy into at the moment? Because you guys do have Conference League this season. So is it a thing that you must win that, or is it a thing where you just look at the league and try and get up the league table? How do you see it as a Chelsea fan?
I think 100% non-negotiables winning Conference League. I think that is very much in the realm of possibility if you go into it with the right mindset. And again, the experience thing, there's no experience heads in there.
There we go.
Being like, this is how you win a European trophy. I've won the best one. Now we need to like build it back up. There's no one there to lead them through the crazy European nights and all. Like, anything can happen.
And do you know what the worst part is, yeah? Like, I say this with the utmost respect for these teams that I'm going to say, but you're going to go to like CFR
Yes.
Cluj and all these
Yep.
teams
Exactly.
in the depths of Eastern Europe. And it's like the weather changes, the schedule changes, Thursday, Sunday, or even in some cases Thursday, Saturday. It's going to be tough. And these young players with no sort of leaders.
But it's also the perfect, I think, opportunity because it like, I don't know, disrespect to the Conference League, but it's not the Champions League, it's not Europa League. I was scared to get Europa because I didn't think they were ready.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
and I think
That's so sad to say,
it is sad, but it's just where we are with everything that's happened. I don't think it's anybody's fault. I mean, it is Putin's fault if we want to blame somebody. If you want to be serious. But it's just where we are. I'm not upset about it. Like, every team has their heyday. Every team has like bad times. 20 years of mediocrity. Look at them now.
Whoa.
Bro, speak on it. Speak on it.
No. Arsenal fans want to do this whole thing of like coming at me now that they're all big and bad. And I'm like, well, you were shit for 20 years. Everyone's whole life, we won every trophy under the sun 2 times over.
We've won every trophy under the sun.
We're here under the sun. All I'm gonna say is I can't lie. Like, yeah, cool. I get what you're saying, but with us, I think there were a lot of situations that happened that people weren't really too aware of. Like, obviously, after the Invincibles, we fell off, but that was because when we moved to the Emirates, usually what happens is teams, whenever they move stadiums, no, honestly,
Can you hear the violins? Crime me over, bro.
no, but it's true. It's true. We had to pay off debts, and the only way we were able to do that at the time, where every season we were losing our best players: Fabregas, Nasri, Vieira,
Fabregas.
Van Persie.
Yeah, obviously. So
Says-
it was all happening. Yeah.
You see, with Chelsea, I mean, I actually respect the fact that you can see what's happening and you believe in.
People are
in
looking
the
at
club.
it very emotionally. You can't be emotional. Like you
No,
cannot
I
be
respect
emotional.
that, because one thing about Chelsea is obviously all of our clubs here, we've gone through our low points, but where Chelsea have gone so up and down, that's where it's always confused me. But one thing I wanted to ask you before we go is, what is your starting 11
Don't ask me that
for
question.
Chelsea right now with your 42,000 players that you have?
NFL
I don't
team.
even know
What is
anyone
your
in the
starting
team.
11?
NFL team, man, literally.
Yeah.
If
Okay,
you,
or-
if
I
you
don't
could
know.
put your dream 11 with all the players that are, do we even say fit? Yeah, okay, fit. They're fit. Who you
I need a
playing?
cheat sheet because I really don't even know who plays for this club anymore.
Oh no.
I hear it. I told you, there's a new signing every day.
Yeah.
There's a new signing every day.
Watch it. Even
But
though it's true.
for goalkeeper, like,
oh,
I know you're not gonna say Robert Sanchez.
Robert Sanchez. There is a picture of me from Saturday where it's just Robert Sanchez, just like,
Oh, was he that bad?
oh my god,
mean-
my head in my hands, just like Robert Sanchez exists, and this is why I'm
Oh
sad.
no.
Like the thing is, what made it worse is the goal he conceded was scored by Kovacic as well.
He smacked
I
it
didn't see
into the
it.
net himself by
it
with
was-
his hands.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
That's poor.
But in goal, I think I would go Petrovic
Okay.
because I think he proved himself last season. Robert Sanchez. Maresca wants a goalkeeper who can play out from the back. First of all, nonsense, woke nonsense. Please
Get
bring
the
back
ball up top.
5 at the back. You know what club I support? Like this playing out from the back nonsense. Back
it's
5,
not
park
really
the bus.
Chelsea.
Nah, it's
You know,
not.
it's not Chelsea. Exactly.
Proper Chels, man.
I think on the right, if fit, Reece James Ovs.
Okay.
Center back partnership, God only knows. I think going forward it will be West and Levi Colwell. I have big questions for Levi. Like,
Really?
I have big, massive,
In
fat
terms of his
questions.
ability,
In
or-
terms of the ability, because
Really?
what I saw in preseason and what I have seen,
Yeah.
what I
Pre-season
saw.
He
was
didn't have
funny.
the
I
great
saw a couple
preseason.
clips
from
However,
pre-season.
we know his quality though. Let's not.
We
Preseason
did
was
see
funny.
the quality.
He's still young,
I
though.
know,
He's a young
but
buck.
he is still young, and I totally understand that. But like, I don't care if it's preseason. I don't care what the fuck it is. The Real Madrid game. Reece James with half a hamstring is chasing Vinny down like it is a Champions League final, and this motherfucker's just strolling into the box
walking.
like it's his daily jog. I will never forget this, and so that's why I'm a little upset with Levi. On the left is where it gets interesting. I'm a big fan of Chilwell, but I think it's because I'm living in the flying fullback of Tuchel era. I still remember it, and it's just like very fond to me. But I think it'll probably be Cucurella. And now I'm not upset about it because we've shown what he's shown what he can do in the Euros.
Yeah.
Midfield.
Oof.
I'm going Lavia and Caicedo
Okay.
in the midfield.
I'm gonna
I
hold
think-
on my.
I
my-
think
what I'm
Enzo
gonna
needs
say on
to
that.
sit.
Really.
Yes. I think he needs to sit. I think also just them three together is never going to work together because I think they're either too different or too similar. You know what I mean? Like,
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, I can understand.
Cole, oh God, this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Because I want Nkunku in the 10. I saw him on the left on Sunday, hated it. But Cole also in the 10. 2 10s. Can we do that?
You can do
It's
whatever.
your team.
Okay,
I
go
don't
for it.
I don't know how many players I have. Okay, goalkeeper 5, 7, 9.
Got your front four.
My front 4. So them 2. And then
Nkunku Palmer. you
Nkunku
said?
Palmer.
Okay.
Ugh, I did not think this through.
Yeah,
I think Pedro
Felix.
Neto's got to come in there.
Neto,
Neto.
Neto, yes, absolutely. And then you don't like Nico Jackson, but I think Nico Jackson's in there.
But we're in there, man.
No.
You know, yeah, it's debatable, but guys, let us know in the comments below. First of all, do you agree with Melina's starting 11 for Chelsea? Do you agree with any of the stuff that we've said in regards to Chelsea, their transfer policy, what the kind of plan is? Chelsea fans, let us know in the comments below. And as always, follow us on our social media, so that's Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And Raf, what do you always say?
Tell a friend to tell a friend.
Peace.